Stations will close in an effort to help balance Oakland's budget. KTBU's Amanda Quintana is outside of one of those fire stations that will go dark this morning. Amanda, good morning.
Good morning. Well, this is a temporary closure that's supposed to last 6 months.
I'm telling you, folks, life just gets crazier and crazier here in California. They want to shut down all these fire stations in Oakland. And we all know that when somebody has a heart attack or has a stroke or falls and breaks a leg or both legs or whatever, the first responders, the fire station first responders are the first people to get there. They need these people. They need these fire stations. This is a lack of responsibility from their the city's elected officials that are running their city into the ground. These people cannot buy groceries, much let alone um, uh, uh, fix money in the city to go around and stretch it out and make sure that they have a black pot full of cash in case they need to borrow from it. These people have lack of responsibility. It's a shame that these people put their residents in this situation. I mean, just look at what happened to LA. Are you kidding me? These firefighters are needed, and the first responders from those that work out of those fire stations, they're all firefighters and they're all first responders. These people are needed in these areas, but leave it to the city officials just to shut them down. Oh, 6 months. 6 months, my butt. You know, in a year from now, they're not going to be up. 3 years from now, they're not going to be up. And as long as you keep electing these same officials to sit on those seats to spend that money the way they want to, they're never going to get back opened up.
It's known as browning out a station, but it essentially means that there won't be anyone inside stations like this one behind me answering calls for help. So this station is station 28. This is one of the stations that's closing. We're here on Grass Valley Road. The other station is station 25. That's on Butters Drive, and they will both have their final shifts end this morning. As those firefighters inside leave, there will be no one coming in to replace them. Station 10, which is already closed, will remain closed because of the cuts. The city also plans to revisit this issue in early February and close 4 more stations, which would bring the total to 7.
7 stations? Wow. That is 7 stations, way too many. I literally feel sorry for the residents of Oakland. These people suffer enough with all the gang violence, all the stores and restaurants closing up due to theft. And now they just got another burden put on their shoulders to lose fire departments. That's crazy. What is going on in Oakland, California? What is going on in California? I'll tell you what's going on. You guys are voting the wrong people in. And as long as you keep, these people will come in and tell you, oh, I'm going to change it. I'm going to do it. If they have a D in front of that, as in Democrat, guess what? They're not going to do nothing for you because they're so far left. They only think about themselves and the people they care about. They don't care about you residents. This is getting ridiculous. Start voting differently, folks. I'm telling you, you have to start voting differently. Get out of the Democratic mind and follow the Lord. Come over to the right or stay in the middle, but vote differently. It doesn't matter. Just vote differently.
The folks in city management decided that
since it's not technically fire season, now is a good time to have the residents up above Highway 13 wait a little longer. And that is the reality, unfortunately, is that there is no good fire station to close. It's all about response time.
So, in their minds, and their bitty little minds, they believe that because there's no fire hazards, I guess there's not going to be a person hazard, as in heart attacks, strokes, etc. Are they kidding? Oh my goodness. This is what our adults running our cities, this is how their mentality is these days. I don't understand it. Why are you getting rid of your fire stations? I mean, they've already got rid of half of their police force and they keep losing police officers. They're not gaining. Look at all the debt they're in. Oh my goodness. The debt. Let's find out what kind of debt they're in.
The fire chief says it might take longer, but first responders will still show up when you call 911. The city is facing a nearly $130 million budget deficit.
$130 million deficit. Well, there you go, folks. That should tell you everything about how your leaders care about the people and how they're spending the money recklessly, buying new fancy cars for themselves and the employees that work with them. Maybe buying new furniture for the office, having somebody come in and painting, put new carpet in. Who knows? Maybe they're even going out to eat and, et cetera, et cetera. It never stops. That's too much money. How, when you get hundreds of millions, if not $1 billion a year from our federal government, are you in debt? Debt shouldn't be there. The federal government gives enough money to each city. They give it to the state of California. The state of California allocates it out to each of the counties. The counties delegate it out to each of the cities. The cities delegate it to what's going on in their cities. And there should be enough money left over for everyone to put that excess money into a black budget, which means you have money. It happens all over our country from good leaders that know how to run their cities. Are you kidding me? You folks should be ashamed of yourself taking from your people, the residents. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm Wayne, and I'll talk to you on the next one.
And this is not the only area facing cuts. In a plan accepted on December 18th, there are also cuts to police and cultural arts programs. The cuts to fire are expected to save about $5.5 million. Now, tomorrow, the Alameda County Board of Supervisors will have a critical vote that could bring in much needed cash into the city, and that is the vote to complete the sale of the Oakland Coliseum. So that is scheduled for tomorrow. Also, there is a press conference later this morning from the Firefighters Union, who's trying to get the city to reverse the decision to close these stations. So we'll bring you more on that as well. For now, live in Oakland, Amanda Quintana, KTVU Fox